Welcome to Simple Conversations, the podcast that connects humanity and helps us all learn new perspectives to living a full life. My name is Inshira Adam. This episode of Simple Conversations was recorded during the lockdown in Ghana, and it brings the perspectives to life and work of a professional in the private sector and a public servant. Enjoy. My guests today are two very passionate Ghanaians. One calls herself a hustler, but a civil servant, entrepreneur, passionate Ghanaian, and with a wealth of experience on many subjects. Akesi Kujo, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And Kingsley Bennett is an IT entrepreneur, currently running a organization that provides IT services, something that's required in these times. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So let's just backtrack to maybe 1st of March. Let's just say, we all entered 1st of March, which was a Monday. And we were excited about the prospects of the third month of the first quarter. And having looked back at what happened in December and all the euphoria around Ghana, the year of return and everything. And then by the 13th, everything just seemed to have changed. And today, just under 2 weeks, our lives have changed. We're asked to stay away from too many people. We're practicing enhanced hygiene. All of these things were things that we probably did not do as rigorously as we're doing now. So it's a bit of a shift, but there's a good reason why that's happening. I'd like to know from your personal experiences, what was life like before the response that we've been asked to embark on as a fight against COVID-19? I'll start with you, Akesi.
I think for me, the greatest change is my mornings. I look forward to my mornings. I usually drive my son to school. It's a long drive. It's roughly 2 hours. And we'd usually listen to the BBC on the way. And that's where we chat. That's where we talk. That's where we plan. And so we went to bed one Sunday, woke up, and the president said, no school. That sort of disorganized me a bit, because now I still need to get to work, but my child is at home. How to balance the two, that's a bit of a problem. So for me, that's been the biggest change so far. COVID-19, we had been listening to the news, international news, since December, and it's something we knew, but it was happening to some people somewhere. And so it was on the news. But now that it's so close to home, it's different.
Right. We'll get to how different it is for you in a moment. But what was your routine like? For IT people, you probably work from anywhere in the world, but what was it like for you?
It wasn't so much of a big change. The key thing is that for me, I also drop off the kids every morning, and at least we got the hint when the school indicated that. I think just about the Thursday, we're told that they are not coming again. So this was even before the president announced it.
Okay.
And the school didn't only say that the kids are not coming, but indicated that we have plans in place for them to do online things. So I got excited because that's my area. So it was okay for us. But then the day comes and, the school is now trying to set up. So the teacher is trying to connect. Then, I had to take off the cap and try to help the teacher because the things that they were doing in order to get it right. Because prior to that, more than 70% of our work is remotely. The only thing is that Ghanaians always want the face-to-face kind of thing when you're engaging a new customer. And some of my partners connect remotely. I have to be physically present to do presentations. But apart from that, once you are on board, everything is remote. I have an issue, you raise the ticket is remote. So it wasn't so much of a change. Well, it's just the piece in the house that changed.
Well, I mean, you may call it peace going out of the door, but I mean, it is in every crisis situation there's a silver lining.
Exactly.
You're now working closer to home with the kids close by. would you say there's been some upsides in terms of how you're bonding and relations at home itself, in spite of our reluctance to stay?
I'm used to it. For that particular, I'm used to it because there was a point in time that virtually I have to handle them. So I take them to school, I rush to work, I have to rush back to pick them up. And when I pick them up, get them lunch, and then once they settle, I lock myself and let them deal with themselves whilst I focus on work.
Okay.
So I partially yes, used to it. Just that interesting around this time because of the situation. At least when it started, a number of the partners started thinking about providing various remote solutions. So we are all of a sudden we become a lot more busy trying to see how we can help our clients connect remotely.
Okay.
So that has been the challenges. It's actually I'm actually much more busy than I used to.
You know, it's quite interesting.
It's
interesting you talk about helping your clients connect remotely. Now, Akesi, at your workplace, in spite of not having your son with you in the car when you're driving to work, what's the journey to work like? You used to do 2 hours to get to work. What is it like now?
Now 40 minutes.
Okay.
40 minutes. Traffic's completely gone.
So the traffic is gone. So there's a bit of an upside. You get to work less stressed, but minus the company of your son.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you do go to work, and work is normal, of course, observing all the measures to keep safe. How would a situation where you would have to work remote impact on the work you do?
It would be, there would be two sides to the coin. So if it was work that had to deal with my department, then it would be okay. But if it was something that I had to work between my department and other departments in the organization, it will be difficult because most of them are not used to working remotely, dealing with tech. It's a civil service. We like paper. We like to see you. We like to read your expression. We like body language as we talk to you. So remote working that's not something we are used to. That's not something we even want to consider. And so that it would be difficult. Very difficult.
Let's jump into some of the changes that you've observed. Of course, you go to work, you come home, there's less traffic on the road. But our lives are connected to other lives. So the people who would have offered us or provided certain services for us. What's changed in that regard? How is that impacting on your life? What has changed?
Well, especially when you walk into other businesses, it's almost aggressive the way they try to get you to wash your hands and sanitize. Very, very, very aggressive, almost as though you are the virus itself. They need to wash you. But aside from that, everybody is being very careful. Everybody, apart from the one or two who don't even believe something is going on, everybody being very careful. Everybody is observing the social distancing.
Vivi, how about you?
Well, okay, so I enjoy somehow I enjoy going to the market. It's been something that's with me. It looks like I feel that I'm a better bargainer. So when was I think just about was it Monday or Sunday? I was in, just before the fumigation. I was in one of the markets.
Okay.
Yesterday I was on a trip. I had to go and see a client, so I had to leave Accra early in the morning to Takrady and back.
Wow.
And of course, I took the opportunity to buy foodstuffs. I'm used to it. This morning, looking at the fact that most of the markets in Accra were fumigated earlier. You know, fumigation takes a while before all those remnants of the pesticides will be. So I'd rather buy from outside. So I had to drive all the way together with a friend to Agomenya to buy foodstuff at the house. Yes, my wife was there keeping out the kids to ensure that their classes go on and all that. I enjoyed that. But at the same time, I also had meetings. But fortunately for me, it's just all that I have to do is just connect on phone. So
Mhm.
conference calls, whether Zoom, whether we have our own video conferencing solution. We do people link. So a number of the times I'm able to host a number. So I do all of that when network connectivity is okay. If
Mhm.
not, so it's yes, it takes just a few minutes to get to the office, just about 30 minutes to get to the office. We keep a lean staff. A lot of the things we do remotely, so we don't keep a lot of staff in there. So uh, staff coming or working from home, it's something that they are already used to.
Mhm.
So it's not that big of a change. Just that yes, now it hits the road. In a short time, you are somewhere. Just before I got home. I went to the fishing harbour to
Okay.
pick up fish that I ordered yesterday. I paid using mobile money in the morning. So I got there. I called the lady. She just dropped it off, and
Mhm.
I'm back home. So not much of a change, but yes, things are slowing down though. Certain places, as you say, certain shops that you enter, you have to go through all those cleansing, which is to some extent okay. Some people are overdoing it. Some people are also wasting money because so when I get to those places, then my other side, because I was trained as a microbiologist, my other side also comes to me. Why are you doing this? Why do you do it this way? You know those things. But
Let's as we wrap up this conversation, talk about socializing. I mean, we're very very social people. We shake hands a lot. In fact, I don't know if there's any other country that trades more hugs and handshakes than Ghanaians. In one conversation between two guys, there would be more than 5 handshakes in a minute. We like to hang out after work, meet people. We have social events and gatherings. All of these things have stopped. How are you keeping the bonds of friendship while you are in this mini or semi lockdown situation? Okay.
Well, you using technology. A lot of WhatsApp groups have popped up. I think in the past week, I've never had as many video calls as I've had in the past week alone. Yeah, I think that's how. And for some reason, people that you haven't even seen in a while or heard from in a while are reaching out to see if you're okay, if you need anything. And I think in a way it's been good socially too, because it's people are reaching out a lot more rather than the just let's hang out, have a drink kind of regular people you'd regularly see.
Mhm.
Yeah, other people I haven't seen or heard from in years reaching out. And for me, I think that's good. It's a
Wow.
good thing.
Awesome.
Mm.
Kingsley, how about you?
I think I'm a very social person, but somehow in the past 2 weeks, because of all of a sudden demands, I want this, can I get my uh, call center agent work remotely, all those things coming up, it's been tough. So one or two people, we get to, of course, do WhatsApp calls, depending on if the network is good.
Mhm.
Of course, we do a lot of WhatsApps. Um, I am when it comes to the platforms, I don't know. There are some key platforms. The moment the message pops up, I get, I was like, what is going on? Because for our support for all our clients are on it. So I don't do much of social. But in the last few weeks, I've not done much of socializing.
Mm.
Just a key friends linking. Once you connect, I'll connect. But I guess out of the sheer fact that we become a lot more busy. It's been tough reaching out.
Okay.
But at least one or two people I've not said, what's good? I hope you are keeping safe.
Mm.
Yes, that's fine. You know that the person is okay.
Wow.
Yes.
So for you, it's not a major disruption. For Casey, there's some disruption, but there are also some upside. Any new things you didn't normally do, maybe reading a book, watching movies, in your downtime when you're relaxing? Are you finding that you're doing anything new? Or maybe a bowl of popcorn with the missus and the kids telling stories. What's it like in the household?
For me, it's been absolute chaos. The kids are everywhere. There's always somebody in your face wanting something, wants to tell you something, say something. So yeah, but it's okay. I mean, so you don't miss so much of the socializing because there are people around you all the time. And even though you say you're isolating, you're really not isolated. There are people there. So I try to get away at least 30 minutes because I'm spending, even though I'm going to work, I'm spending more time at home. So 30 minutes alone just to stay sane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's important to me.
All right. And Kingsley, how are you?
For me, it's, I think the only time peace returns is when they are asleep. That's almost like just about 11 thereabout. In terms of having peace to read or anything, no. I think that at least in the next couple of weeks, because of the works that we are doing, trying to get people to work remotely, perhaps they will not settle until everything becomes, at least people, a majority of our clients are able to work smoothly remotely.
Okay.
And so yes, but for now, it's been a long time since I read the book, but I believe that perhaps a week or two, perhaps after the next 2 weeks, then that peace will come, or we'll have some time, some me time. So the only time we get to talk to the business is when, I think that is when we get to talk about everything when they are asleep and peace has returned and they are all asleep. Then we're going to have a few minutes at least. Then we get to stay because we work on different things. There's other project that she's also doing there. At least a few hours, get into midnight to work on us before at least we retire to bed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, one thing I'm taking away from this conversation is that whether we like it or not, it may be generally seen as a disruption to how we do things, but everyone seems to be finding some good in it, from what I've heard from both of you. And I'd like to thank you both for availing yourselves and talking freely about how you're coping with the measures we've been asked to undertake to fight COVID-19. Thank you, Kingsley Bennett. And thank you, Aketi Kujo. You've been listening to Simple Conversations with me and Shira Ado, and I hope our conversation helps you live a fuller life. Do join us again for the next episode.